Mark Zuckerberg admits that the Biden administration pressured Facebook to censor posts during COVID. We're never going to get those memes back.
A woman jumped into the tiger pen at a zoo in New Jersey. According to the Chinese placemat, they'll get along if she's a horse, dog, or pig.
A Japanese guy is in trouble for kicking a person dressed as a ghost in the face. He forgot to eat a power pellet first. That's a Pac-Man joke.
I'm gonna show you my lightsaber.
Like a feather-filled pillow discussion group. This is The Talk Down.
Oh man, Gavin, that was our best opening I think we've ever had. Thank you so much for that. I am Adam Yenser, and I once got stung by a giant African wasp in an outhouse in Uganda.
Wow. I'm Ethan Nicolle, and I once won a battle of bands with a sprained ankle. I didn't tell that story yet, did I?
No, I don't think so. I'm starting to forget which stories I've told already.
We need like a database.
Yeah.
And wow, you Gavin. Gavin's here. We got Gavin from the Babylon Bee.
You're like one of my favorite friends and guests from the Babylon Bee.
Missed you so much.
Right, you know.
What do you have a story?
Yeah, I once won $500 by... dang it.
We're not editing this part. You just gotta
just
go.
say it.
Yeah. Well, meter, I say it for you? I can see it on the notes. So I think it's a typo.
I once won by betting $500 to where the cow will poop.
Okay,
I can't wait to hear this. A cow plop contest?
Is that real?
I used to do those growing up in Pennsylvania.
I feel like
not
exactly.
redneck
enough.
Oh man, I can't. Well, I may have some stories about this also. You guys better subscribe if you want to hear Gavin's story about betting on where the cow will plop and all of our other great stories.
Battle of Bands, and then Adam in an outhouse in Africa.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a fantastic subscriber portion.
It is. Yeah. All right. Well, this is a very special 18th episode, and we're joined by our old friend here, Gavin Yee, as we said.
You look great, Gavin, by the way. I haven't seen you on.
Yeah,
you look like you're taking care of yourself. I love the jacket.
Mm-hmm. And then not my Star Wars shirt, which was hashtag.
That
was from an animated short we did. You ever look up, gosh, what was that called? Heroes, characters. Don't want, whatever. I can't remember. It's one where Superman's upset they're going to make him gay.
Now, is this jacket from a character, you said?
It's from the game Mass Effect.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You brought awesome jackets with.
Yeah, Gavin.
They look like stuff. They look like stuff Steven Seagal would wear.
Yeah,
they're just very cool. I mean that they
fighting from
very cool.
Office chair.
Because I haven't seen enough Steven Seagal to know his jacket taste.
Your old glasses already. Well, we're gonna look at some of your old pictures, but your sunglasses look like Steven Seagal sunglasses. Yeah. So you guys have similar tastes in the fashion.
That makes sense.
Well, we're going to crush censorship, stand for free speech like Titanic warriors in a world of snowflakes, soy boy, mama's babies. We're going to legalize comedy on this show.
It's about time.
About time. So how you guys' week been?
Oh, my week was great. I was doing stand-up shows in Dallas, Texas this week.
Wow.
So I made a visit to Buc-ee's, obviously.
Buc-ee's? We talked about Buc-ee's.
I love Buc-ee's. I go every time. It's literally like a tourist destination when I go to Texas. I always have to visit Buc-ee's. And I also was performing at a great comedy club there called TK's, and there was an event for Texas Governor Greg Abbott the first night. So I got to meet Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, and he spoke for a while about all he's doing for businesses in Texas, and then I got to do stand-up afterwards. And originally,
make him laugh.
Well, see, here's the thing. Originally, they built this event like it was going to be, an event for Governor Abbott, and he would be there the whole time. He did a little photo op beforehand. And I went up to introduce myself, and I was like, I'm Adam. I'm one of the comedians that's going to be performing tonight. And he goes, what's your best joke? Which, that's the worst thing to ask a comedian. Yeah. He's a good governor, but that's not, But, and he goes, what's your best joke? And I go, oh, well, you'll hear it in a few minutes. And he goes, oh, no, I'm not staying for the comedy show. But he was a very nice guy to meet. And then, a lot of his supporters were there, and we had a little comedy show after this little business dinner for him. Yeah,
he had to probably had to go back in his hole after it.
In his hole?
His name's Governor Abbott.
Governor Greg Abbott. And he's in a wheelchair. I didn't know if you were trying to make like a derogatory wheelchair joke.
He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah. They go in a hole, right?
You got their little holes they stay in.
No, this is
Speaking of
what
holes,
this is what I have to put up with every week, Gavin.
Gavin brought.
Doesn't even pay attention.
I feel like it's just.
Oh, you
casual.
got one of those?
Gavin brought this.
Oh man,
I don't know what that's supposed to be, but
that's the popcorn bucket from
pass
Deadpool and Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
So, do you have the Dune one?
No.
I got the Dune one. You can use this if you want. One of the bathrooms in my apartment.
it seems gross. Like your hands touch this flap and you
Yeah,
go in there.
it's meant to be kind of gross because the Dune one that they came out with, it was the mouth like the sandworm from Dune, and it had all these like tentacles in it, and it looked very like a little dirty and like a sex toy or something. It looked strange when people would like reach into it. So I think they made these as sort of a
Based on that.
spoof after the discussion over the Dune one. But I saw them, and I have one of my bathrooms. I just have decorated with like weird, crappy art, and I got one of those Dune buckets because I use it as a tissue dispenser. So I put the tissues in there, and you have to take the tissues out of it. But you can do that with this also.
No.
That's so cool that you got one.
I actually bought 2, and I sold one for $100.
Oh, really?
It was like some guy was like, "Yeah, I need this today for my kid's birthday."
Oh, really? What's his kid gonna do to it for his birthday? I need it right now. I need the open Wolverine mouth immediately for my son's birthday today. He becomes a man.
He actually didn't pick it up. His driver did. So,
okay.
you know.
I ordered the Dune one online. Some of them were $100. I think I got mine for like 50 or something. Like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot to spend on a tissue dispenser as a joke, but it was cheaper than some. of
to be single.
Yeah.
Have you seen the alien one?
No, they made an alien one.
Yeah, it's like alien head, but
No,
you know how the alien head looks like?
Yes, it's sort of phallic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, "Oh,
What is the undertone of this whole thing here? We got
We're just talking dirty popcorn buckets.
okay.
yeah." Designed by Deadpool.
I wasn't gonna talk about it, but Gavin brought this dirty popcorn bucket.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna leave it in the back, and then Ethan took it out. So, you know.
It's very cool.
Well, I have my weekly story.
Yes, what happened to you this week?
Story. I was going to take my son. So my wife and all the girls in the family went on a girl lady day on Saturday. So I took my son. My older son didn't want to go, but I found a lucha libre mask or a match was going to be happening,
Really?
like a wrestling match, and it was going to be right off the train tracks. Like if you take the Metrolink from Rancho, it's right off the stop at El Monte. I'm like, oh, it's going to be perfect because he loves the train, going a train ride. It was going to be later at night, so we actually took the train all the way to Union Station, did a little bit of Olivera Street, buying junk out there and eating some rolled tacos and stuff. We also did Sushi Revolver, which is his favorite restaurant. We got out. It was like 7 o'clock at night. We'd already spent like 2 hours on the train, and we finally get to the destination of where this match is supposed to take place. We arrive and it's a bar. It's 21 and over.
Uh-oh.
It didn't say that anywhere on this thing that I found on Facebook. So that was a letdown, but we'd had such a fun day anyway.
You didn't get to go to
no wrestling. Yeah, it was a bummer. There's a really good wing place next door, so we got wings. We took the wings back to the train because the train was about to leave right after. If we hadn't caught the train right then, we had to wait 2 hours with nothing to do. So anyway, get back. We got these good wings. We're gonna have wings in the train, and we're on the station platform, and this little Chinese lady's there. I think she's Chinese. And she keeps trying to ask me a question. And she gets out her phone and she starts talking to her phone. And I notice that she's speaking Mandarin into her phone.
And you're learning Mandarin.
And I go, "Ni shuo zhongwen ma?" And she starts talking to me in Chinese. And then I'm like, she asked me like, "Hoche lai." Wait, I forgot how to say it. I'm on the spot. Anyway, we had this whole
Gavin's
conversation
gonna judge you. I will
in Chinese.
Do you speak Mandarin?
Do you speak any Mandarin?
You didn't. No.
You didn't. Okay. Ni chu goma. Ni chu goma.
I should know that one.
I asked you if you eat dog.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
It's
I guess
also
I
my
don't.
accent's probably really bad. But yeah, so Gavin, this is a
Probably
weird
cool.
confession. Like I got to this story because this is for me, like the first time I've had a conversation. I've been studying Mandarin randomly just as a hobby for over a year and a half now. But I've been hiding it from Gavin because I wanted to I don't know why I wanted to surprise him.
You wanted to surprise him by asking him a racist. You wanted to surprise him by inviting him here and asking him one
Cantonese.
racist question.
Yeah.
You know, my friend loved the guy that played Shang-Chi's dad. He's like a famous Hong Kong actor, and then she learned Mandarin and everything. And then later she realized he actually speaks Cantonese.
Oh, wow.
I know that's the thing. Like, it's completely random when I decided to learn to speak it because I was practicing maps and. Oh, we'll talk about this in the subscribe portion. Like, why did I start learning Mandarin? We'll talk. Well, and we'll try to have a conversation. You studied,
and I'll sit here listening to them try to have a
You'll try to guess what he said. Yeah.
I
It'll
probably
be like
barely
when
know.
I'm annoyed waiting in line at Disneyland, just overhearing Mandarin I don't understand.
But I did it. It was the craziest feeling to have this whole conversation with a little old Chinese lady.
Were you able to?
We didn't need the app.
Were you able to communicate pretty well with her?
Yeah. I didn't freeze up like I just did there. It was 在火车站我们说话一点点我们说话一关于 anyway I talked about that was the train station we were talking.
Did you ask her what they have on Tim Walls? He visited China 30 times. They got something on him.
He's got something. Yeah. Anyway, so that's been my hobby.
Gavin, how was your week?
Oh, I've been for the past few weeks I've been reading on and listening to audiobook for
Nice.
The Wheel of Time, and I finally finished all of it. Well,
What is the Wheel of Time? I'm not familiar with that.
It
Game
was
Kidding. Wait. Just kidding. Isn't that like it's like an Amazon series or something like that, right? There's a series of it.
Currently there is a TV show that is like equivalent to Rings of Power bad.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So the show is bad, but the book is like a classic book. Is it really good?
Yeah, technically, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's because which would come up later. The Brandon Sanderson wrote the last 3 books, and then there's 14 books plus a prequel. I didn't read the prequel, but so it's like really long. I think it started in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
And then the author died. That's why Brandon had to take over and ended it in like 10 years ago.
Oh, cool.
So it's like.
Is it a fantasy series?
Yeah, it's a fantasy series.
So very long.
Yeah, it's
that sounds
each book is like 25 to 40 hours long.
Oh man,
how many books?
15.
Holy
wow!
cow.
And you finished it all?
Well, I finished 14.
That's
I didn't finish.
What speed?
That's impressive.
I was on 2.
Oh, really?
Because I was like, I need to finish this because this is insanely long, and I actually end up skipping large chunks of it because
what?
Gavin, you can't tell us you read the whole book and then you skipped.
Well, it was like not large chunks of it. It's just like he's like saying. He's ranting on and on about one topic, and I was just skipped until he finished that one topic. He was still on that one topic. So.
I try to focus on audiobooks like that. Like the one I've been going through a lot of philosophy books, and I've been reading some of them. Some been listening to an audiobook, and I got through Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations, and some chapters are so fascinating, interesting. It lays like the groundwork for capitalism and like kind of leaving the mercantile system, and there's a lot about economics and also like political philosophy and education and stuff like that. And there's parts are really interesting. And then he'll go into these like 3-chapter, like 2-hour-long analysis of like the herring trade in Denmark in 1860. And you're just like, I don't know what's going on.
That's like Moby Dick. Like, there's a chapter where it just talks about like the use of whale fats in industry or whatever. It just goes on.
Have you guys read Les Mis?
I've never read Les Mis. I've seen the movie.
I've heard it.
So I was reading it before, and then I was listening to it, and then I fell asleep. I fell asleep, and I woke up, and it was still talking about the same. It was talking about the underground tunnel system or something at the time. It was still talking about it when I woke up. I think that was like really long. That
they were at the beginning of the tunnel when you went to sleep, and they were at the end of the tunnel when you woke up.
I wasn't at the end of it. That's how terrible.
All right, well, let's get into our news of the week. Story 1. Zuckerberg admits Biden admin pressured Facebook to censor COVID content. Says it was wrong to suppress the post-Hunter laptop coverage. did he say this all on Joe Rogan? I think so.
He said it in a letter to the House Judiciary Committee.
That's in here.
Jim Jordan, yeah.
In an explosive letter to House Judiciary Committee Chairman Rep. Jim Jordan, Zuckerberg wrote that senior Biden administration officials, including the White House, repeatedly pressured Meta to censor content related to the coronavirus pandemic in 2021. The content the Biden administration requested that Meta take down included humor and satire. So, like, literally some of our jokes, we probably had some jokes. Yeah, they're talking about us here. According to the Facebook founder, and he said he regrets complying with certain demands. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it, he wrote. I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make today. Zuckerberg separately added that suppressing the Post's exclusive report on Hunter Biden's infamous laptop ahead of the 2020 election was a mistake. He explained to the House Judiciary Committee that, which has been probing Facebook's content moderation standards, that prior to the decision to limit sharing of the bombshell October 2020 story, the FBI had warned Meta about a potential Russian disinformation operation related to the Biden family and Ukrainian energy giant Burisma, where Hunter sat on the board of directors.
It's crazy that they're apologizing for this now. We're sorry. We shouldn't have done that. It influenced the election. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. It influenced all the COVID-19 information that was out there. People had, their pages censored. They had the content censored. This impacted, possibly the way people would vote. It's just like, we shouldn't have done that in retrospect.
I remember, and at the time, how much you were accused of being a conspiracy theorist.
And people complained about it at the time that they were being censored. It was like, no, you're I
remember the day of the Hunter Biden thing. Remember that?
Oh, I remember that too. It's so bizarre.
Actually trying to search it.
They suspended the whole New York Post Twitter account over that. And then Facebook started censoring all that information also.
Yeah, that was wild. Oh, yeah, it was on Twitter too, right?
Twitter, Twitter, I think they suspended the whole New York Post, like their whole page, I think.
I remember playing with, like, you do different searches and then it'd come up if you, like, messed the search up enough. I think that was the one. I don't know.
Even to this day, it's hard to find all the stuff that was on his laptop. There was obviously like the incriminating photos of him, like, shirtless doing drugs and with prostitutes and all this stuff. There was a video of him weighing drugs, like, on a scale with, like, a Russian prostitute there, and he's arguing over whether or not he, like, physically abused her. And he's, like, arguing with her. And this video was out there.
So she's saying she was, and she's
like photographed and videotaped, like, every crime he committed. But even now, it's hard to find any of that stuff because they bury it all. I think the tech companies are probably still, like, burying some of that information.
Well, it's since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation. Oopsie. And in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story, he acknowledged. Zuckerberg assured Jordan that Meta has put policies in place to ensure that similar censorship of stories doesn't happen again.
I'm sure it'll never happen again until they want it to.
I thought RFK, he made his announcement that he is endorsing Trump.
Yeah.
He made such a great point. Like, the censors would never go down in history as the good guys.
Yes, yeah.
That was, so true.
They never go down in history as good guys. And this, it's applicable here in this censorship with the tech companies and Meta and the way Google censors stuff. And even the media, when they say they get stuff wrong, or Google will say that the way the Trump assassination attempt was kind of buried, they'll say it's just happened that way. Mm-hmm. It always hurts the Republican Party and helps the Democrat Party. Whatever mistake they made or whatever thing they say, we shouldn't have done that, or that was an honest mistake. Mm-hmm. It always helps one narrative and hurts the other all the time. It never works out the other way. Well, Zuckerberg made a bad choice and Biden pushed him to do it. I prefer to make my own bad choices like this next person did. Story 2. Woman charged with trespassing for entering New Jersey Zoo tiger enclosure to pet the tiger. We have a video of this. We'll play the video here real quick.
After scaling a wooden fence, this woman is now face-to-face with an enormous Bengal tiger at the zoo. Poking her finger through the cage, she tries to touch the 500-pound animal. Suddenly, the tiger lurches forward, nearly biting the woman as she yanks her arm away. The trespasser then hightails it out of there, jumping the fence as the tiger paces menacingly back and forth.
So this woman, a woman caught on camera jumping over a fence and taunting a tiger at the Cohanzick Zoo in Bridgeton, New Jersey, has been charged with trespassing. Bridgeton police said 24-year-old Zaire Dennis was also cited for 2 city ordinances after she was seen sticking her hand through holes in a wire fence after climbing over a wooden barrier at the Cumberland County Zoo on August 20th. So apparently she's done this
This is her habit.
She goes around different zoos trying to pet the dangerous animals.
See, that's how Joe Exotic got started.
Just petting tigers at the zoo. Video shared by the department showed the tiger pacing back and forth before putting both paws on the wire as the woman walked away and hopped back onto the walking path. Here's the thing, though. She survived, though, so let this be a lesson. It's okay to jump the fence and pet the tigers.
And it seemed like the tiger wandered because like
it walks up
on
and
the fence, like,
it gets pretty close to her. Yeah. I was horrified, honestly. John Medica, director of Recreation and Public Affairs for the city of Bridgeton, said it was just very careless, a very careless action, and I hope this individual recognizes how lucky she was to still have all of her limbs.
Sounds like a threat. Like that's the punishment for the crime. They'll remove your limbs surgically.
She's lucky we didn't take her limbs. According to police, the restricted area that officials say Dennis entered was also adjacent to the zoo's bear enclosure. A statement from the department explained that Police Chief Michael Gameri Sr. was also notified of a similar video depicting the same scenario at the bear enclosure the same day involving the same person. So she tried to jump into the bear enclosure and pet the bear also.
Do you think she was singing to the animals like Joe Exotic? Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
You ever watched Tiger King? You don't remember the songs?
I did watch it, but I don't remember.
Like, I saw a tiger.
Oh, because he was trying to be like a singer, like a country singer.
But it's not his voice. He like hired a guy. It's so funny. Lip syncs him. That tiger song.
I don't remember the exact lyrics of the songs. No. Did you watch Tiger King, Gavin?
No.
COVID. How did you get through COVID without Tiger King? You were listening to Wheel of Time.
That's when you just started Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Right?
Backwards in time.
Nice.
What I love tiger in Chinese is Lao Hu. And they have all these animals. They add Lao means old.
Oh,
so
okay.
like they call tiger old tiger.
Oh, that's awesome.
And mouse Lao Shu is old mouse.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
It's not that awesome, but it's kind of cool.
I like that.
It's cool.
It gives them a little character.
Yeah. Well, mouse sounds like they're really familiar with them.
Now, what if there's
buddies.
What if there's a tiger that's young? Would you say young old like there's a young tiger? But would you say young old tiger?
I mean, I should let Gavin speak first in case he knows. I assume Xiao Xiao is young or small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you say Xiao Lao Hu.
Yeah, like young old tiger.
You say young old tiger? I don't know. I don't know that one. Our many Chinese listeners
Gavin's
will know.
thinking right now.
I'm trying to translate it to Cantonese, and I'm like having problems.
You can't. Chinese.
This woman, Dennis, will appear in Bridgeton Municipal Court on the trespassing charge, though a date has not yet been set, police said. This is just like the January 6th protesters. They're charging her with trespassing, even though she was just peacefully taking a tour of the tiger cage.
I just noticed I didn't write a transition for this one.
Well,
so we're just going to go from Tiger Lady
speaking of
to
how
Tiger
to say,
Mom.
All right.
What is it? Something like that. Speaking of...
I was going to say speaking of words in Chinese, because you were trying to say all the words
Speaking of words in Chinese. Indignant shopper in China makes Louis Vuitton, is that how you say that? Louis Vuitton staff count $110,000 in cash for 2 hours.
Or as they call it in China, Old Louis.
Old Louis, yeah. Lao Lu. For 2 hours, then leaves. All right, so this woman made employees at a Louis Vuitton outlet in China count 600,000 yuan, $110,000 in cash before leaving empty-handed as a part of a revenge plot over a previous unpleasant encounter. I love how petty this is. This woman said that she went to the outlet to shop for clothes, but had been treated dismissively by the staff there. So I think like they didn't know how rich she was. Apart from ignoring her request for a drink, they also directed her to items for previous seasons instead of showing her the latest arrivals. She also accused the staff of rolling their eyes at her and appearing impatient when she asked to see some dresses. The woman added that she was ignored when she tried to call LV's headquarters about the situation after leaving the store. According to the Hong Kong news outlet South China Morning Post, the woman bore the grudge for 2 months before cooking up this payback scheme, and she returned to the outlet with a bag of cash. Are Chinese people vengeful people? Gavin, have you noticed this? Is this have you ever had any like China, like anybody you know? They really super vengeful.
I don't know.
Petty.
Is Genghis Khan petty?
Yeah. I would assume so.
Oh, Gavin, you're funnier than every guest we've ever had.
Accompanied by her personal assistant, so she brings in her personal assistant and friend.
Hold on, I have a question. It said they denied her request for a drink. Can you just ask for a
I
drink?
assume
at
like it's
Louis
a
Vuitton?
really fancy place where they're just like.
They have cocktails in the
I assume
store?
like any place where really rich people are buying stuff, right? Like they're offering you stuff.
I don't know. Maybe I've
Like
only
if you go buy a ring or something.
yeah,
Like they're offering you drinks and like.
alcoholic drinks or just
I don't know if
juice?
alcoholic, but I mean, even in like barbershops, you get offered alcoholic drinks. So I feel like it's not out of. I mean, I've never bought a Louis Vuitton.
I'm going to the wrong barbershop.
Really? You've never had that?
I don't get offered a drink at the barbershop.
I've had an offer me a beer like many times. Like a lot of, it's a thing at a lot of barbershops.
I think they're used to when I went to college. I think they still have these. I forget what it was called, but they were like these like man barbershops,
Yeah,
like
like
where the
bros.
men go, the
Yeah.
bro barbershop. And I feel like you could get a beer there
Yeah.
because what's
I think I
better
don't
than
want
a-
hair falling in
That's
my
what I was
beer,
gonna say. What's better than a
So-
beer with hair in it?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, I need to find some of these barber shops. I guess I need to stop going to Asian ones. You know.
But this was an Asian Louis Vuitton, and apparently they had
Well,
drinks.
you know, it looks like, you know, in Asia you get this instead of the
Yeah.
barber shop.
It's not the real experience here.
Well, accompanied by her personal assistant and friend, the group tried on some clothes before telling a salesperson that they would like to be purchasing them. And she handed over a big bag of cash to the shop assistants on the pretext of paying for the clothes. So she's assuming they remember her. It took the staff 2 hours to count all the banknotes. As soon as they were done, the woman told them that she had changed her mind about the purchase, would be leaving. She wrote on social media platform Xianghongsu. After they finished counting it, I just took away my money and left. How is it possible for me to buy their products to improve their work performance? The woman's story garnered praise from the netizens. The Nietzscheans, people who love Nietzsche. SCMP reported, "This ending is so delightful. I have always wondered why these shop assistants are so arrogant," one netizen said. I've never heard that word. "They sell luxury goods, but it does not mean they are luxury goods themselves," another said.
Right.
I don't know. I guess I love like a good
It is
petty
funny
story. Like
that
she like
I get it that she did it to be petty.
Mhm.
That's kind of funny. Like I had a woman do this when I was in
to get back at you.
no, in front of me at the airport
yeah.
one time when I was trying to catch a flight. I stopped at the convenience store there to get like, I don't know, Tylenol or toothpaste, whatever you get in the little convenience store because I'd forgotten something. The woman in front of me in the airport paid a $6 bill in pennies. She brought 600 pennies in a jar to the airport.
To the airport. Wow.
And the woman behind the counter is sitting there counting all of them. I'm like, is this a joke? It's insane.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe she's trying to teach patience.
It could be.
They didn't treat her right last time.
She was maybe
Like,
she
oh,
was
yeah,
being
sure,
petty
you can
towards
fly.
me. Maybe I had offended this woman at some point in my life, and
Like, yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
shouldn't you be over at Spirit Airlines right now, lady?
Exactly.
Yeah, she's like, all right, I'd bring my
Are you
pennies
sure
back.
it's not
this
one of
place.
your man on the street things?
that's true. Maybe it was somebody whose time I wasted when I was doing Kevin the Cashier at Ellen, and I had wasted her time, and she followed me to the airport when I was running late for a flight, and I was like, I'm going to get him back for that. You might be onto something there, Gavin. That may be the case. Well, staying on the topic of petty Asians.
Not me.
I didn't
guess.
write this, Gavin. I didn't write this transition. Ethan did. You know,
Yeah, Joel Ren. Not Chinese people.
Japan karate expert who broke jaw of haunted house ghost loses lawsuit.
So if you've been watching this lawsuit, here's an update.
Okay. A karate expert in Japan who broke a haunted house worker's jaw with a kick in 2011.
Ooh.
This has been going on for 13
so
years.
long.
This 13-year saga
Slow
of
burn.
the karate expert who kicked a ghost in the face at an amusement park has lost his lawsuit against the amusement park. Do you think how do ghosts work? If you kick a man in the jaw and break his jaw, does his jaw become a ghost?
Yeah, just a jaw that he
He
loses.
just has an actual ghost jaw then.
But it's a Japanese ghost, so
Yes.
I don't know if it's a different type of ghost.
That's
I
true.
could totally
don't
see
know how.
a floating living jaw, ghost jaw on one of those animes I've seen.
Don't a lot of the anime stuff revolve
Gets
around
really weird.
ghost stories and stuff? I feel like there's always ghost in the title or
Right.
spirit.
Like what was that one that just came out? The Heron Boy or whatever? Boy Heron? Miyazaki?
He's been listening. To
I'm
Wheel of
aware
Time.
of it, but I
You
just,
never
been
saw
listening
Heron
to-
Boy?
nope. I
It's not
don't.
called that though. I can't remember what it's called. Crane Boy? I don't know.
Anyway, the man who admitted to drinking before entering the haunted house. Yeah, what are you not going to drink before you go in a haunted house?
Right.
That's what makes them fun. At
They gave him a
Toei
drink.
Kyoto Studio Park in Kyoto in 2011, while traveling with his colleagues, had argued that the park should have warned visitors that humans acted as ghosts and it should have protected its staff better. Now, who goes into a haunted house at an amusement park not knowing there's going to be people dressed as ghosts in there?
What do you think they're going to be doing?
The karate expert was startled when a park worker dressed as a ghost stepped forward to frighten him. The man, who has not been named, kicked the ghost in the face and later said it was a reflex. The worker filed lawsuit seeking compensation. A settlement was reached in 2015 when the karate expert agreed to pay 10 million yen in damages. This story does confirm my stereotype that every random person walking around Japan is secretly a karate expert. Like, you just scare some guy and it turns out he was a karate expert.
Is that true, Gavin? I don't know. I just feel like we have a consultant here.
You told me you've been to Japan, right?
I went last year.
Like, if you go boo to a Japanese person in general,
I didn't do
Spin
that
kick?
there, unfortunately.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
that'd be a good YouTube channel.
Well,
What happens when you boo different nationalities?
Well,
speak up behind Hungary. Boo!
Scaring different people.
I believe when I was in Japan, an American was harassing.
Okay, harassing.
And then he got thrown in jail.
Whoa, really?
Man, just from little harassment. Little
Doing,
harassment.
I think that was a big topic at that time of the year.
Really? I remember years ago.
YouTube harassers.
Yeah, it was like one of those YouTube guys.
The guy goes around just trying to get a reaction.
I don't know.
And
You're a little older than me. I don't know if you're old enough to remember this. Do you guys remember growing up? There was a story in Singapore where like the laws were really strict, and some guy,
the guy like spit on the sidewalk or
spit
something?
gum on the sidewalk, and he got sentenced to lashings. For
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah,
they
like caning or
lashed
something.
him.
Yeah, whipping his butt with bamboo sticks or something.
But it's a very clean country because of that.
Yeah.
So, you know. Anyway, back to the karate expert and the ghost. He later filed his own lawsuit against the theme park's managing company, arguing that they were responsible for the incident as well and should cover a portion of the damages he had agreed to pay. He said the park was negligent for not training staff in how to prevent an attack from a visitor and that he shouldn't have been allowed into the attraction given that he had been drinking. He must have gone to the Louis Vuitton beforehand and had some drinks.
What do you envision the staff would have like ninjas in the dark nearby, like preparing to like block any kicks that come their way?
But the Osaka High Court last month ruled his kick was an overreaction, dismissing his claim that the park was partly responsible for the incident. The court said the man's kick that broke the worker's jaw went beyond the scope of a reflexive action taken out of sheer fear. Now, see, this argument from an amusement park makes sense. You guys hear that other story last week about the Disney and how the man was trying to sue because his wife, the wrongful death lawsuit, his wife got food poisoning and died at
a Disney cruise.
Yes, I know it was at the resort. I think.
Oh, okay.
It was at one of their
It was a Disney thing.
It was at one of their theme parks, and then they tried to get out of it, saying that because the fine print on his Disney Plus subscription says you can't sue Disney. They're saying that the fine print in his Disney Plus subscription prevented him from suing for the wrongful death of his wife at their theme park.
That's so wild.
But anyway, let's see where we're at here. The ghosts were the main attraction of the park, and they never physically attacked anybody, the court said, so there was no need for any customer to use physical violence. While it is true that the aim of the staff portraying the ghost is to surprise customers, this is done with the understood principle that the haunted house is something that can be safely enjoyed. It's like the court had to explain to this guy how haunted houses work.
Yeah.
What? I didn't go into the haunted house thinking people were going to jump out and try to scare me.
You know, I do wonder because the Japanese society is so polite that maybe that's why, you know, they didn't think this would ever happen. Like this violence.
You would think
like
a Japanese ghost would say, "Excuse me," and then walk over and then say hi and then go, "Oh, so sorry," and walk away. Unlike within the story of a movie or TV show, the ghosts are not actually attacking the customers.
This is the court explaining.
This court is still explaining to this man how these
they aren't rainbow colored
haunted house ghosts work. So there is no need for them to physically fight back, the court said. It is difficult to find any justifiable motive or logical rationale for the karate expert's actions. I also like that they insist on not revealing his name, so they just refer to him as the karate expert.
Yeah, this isn't bad. I'd love to be called that.
Maybe they can't translate his name.
That's possible too.
Oh, this all took place in Japan, right? I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe they're like, that kick was no overreaction. Like, if he just done like a little normal kick, but he did like the upside down, like,
Like the back
Street
forward
Fighter.
high kick.
the upside down spinning. Oh, no,
Yeah.
that's Chun-Li that's upside down.
Chun-Li does. Ryu
does-
does the right side up. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
I've been replaying Street Fighter 2 with my kids.
Oh, that's a great game.
this reminds me of something that happened to me when I was at Universal Studios, and there was that haunted area.
this
Yeah.
Halloween nights or whatever, or spooky nights.
Horror
Yeah,
nights.
it was like
Wait,
going
Horror
through
Nights?
like a thing where they scare you, and I was right behind, or somebody I know was trying to speed past everything, so I was like right next to him. So the group in front of us was getting all scared, and then we weren't, except one werewolf guy. He popped up right at me, and I immediately reflex punch, but my arms are too short.
They refer to you as the karate expert.
It's to where I only got there, and he was
The
like,
wind of your punch blew him back.
he was like, like slowly backed away.
That almost makes you seem like a karate expert, but like with control. It's like you punch, but then you stop like dead.
You let him know.
It's like you could have done it.
Well, there
if
was
you
also a
wanted to.
bar right there, so I probably could have punched him if there wasn't a bar stopped me.
Wow.
When you were in Japan, what was like your favorite thing you saw or did in Japan?
There were a lot of things I didn't see was the problem.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I did hang out with some YouTubers.
Oh,
but,
cool. Nice.
you know.
People that you knew ahead of time, like that you've watched their channels and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. Nice.
All right, well, keeping things in the Asian realm, we're going to Gavin's news. Gavin brought us some news. This is really Asian news, though. This is Batman.
It's stuff that's interesting to Gavin.
Yeah, this is stuff that's interesting to Gavin. And so Gavin brought me this tweet. Is that a tweet? It's a news story. That's on Twitter because it has what I love. I love readers' added context, community notes.
So this is an ad from PC Gamer for the
Or
new
it's an
Batman
ex-post.
Arkham.
Yeah, so they say, watch. It's just the stupidest way. I mean, if you're joking, it's funny, but watch a latex-clad billionaire punch out poor people in the debut gameplay trailer for Batman Arkham Shadow. And then the reader's added context. Batman does not punch random poor people. As the tweet suggests, he specifically attacks criminals.
Good old community notes.
Yeah. So it's a VR Batman game?
Yeah, apparently it's a VR version of the first Batman Arkham game.
Oh, that sounds... I love that game. I don't play
Maybe
other
you should
games.
play
I
it.
played that game.
I never played that one. It
The
looked
thing is,
cool.
I play a ton of VR. It's really dorky. I play Beat Saber like a madman. I mean, you know this. And I play Pistol Whip, where you shoot, and I play it on my treadmill. I I rubber band myself to the treadmill so I won't fall off. Because in the game, you're walking down a hallway like John Wick, and you're just shooting all these guys. So I put it so they can't hurt me, and because I hate I don't like dodging bullets while I try to do treadmill, but I put the treadmill like really uphill, fast walk for exercise, and then I'm just like John Wicking my way through my workout. It's fun.
They should make a VR game called the Japanese Haunted House, and you would just have to kick. You have to kick all the
Well, I
ghosts
can
in the
kick
jaw.
on a treadmill. That would be
Ghosts pop out, and you have to kick them
that
in
would
the
be
jaw.
a great treadmill fail waiting to happen. Me face planting on a treadmill.
Isn't your next game this Batman game so you can, VR beating up poor people?
Well, the thing is, most VR games, the way you walk around, I hate. I hate feeling like my ghost body is moving around and I'm standing still. I have not gotten to where I enjoy that, and that's every VR game mostly. So the games where it makes sense you're stationary, I enjoy them. Anyway, me and my brothers all watched Terminator 2 at a VR movie theater the other night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it cool?
It was cool. It was cool to feel like we're hanging out. I mean, they look like floating avatar people, but
Was it like the 4D experience where the seats shake and
No.
stuff
Yeah, no.
pokes out at you and stuff?
40, yeah, in the sense that it was my seat at home.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't. But you said it was like a VR experience, right?
A VR movie theater. So like we were each in VR.
Oh, okay.
We met in a VR movie theater
I see.
in VR world. It was not a real theater.
Oh, I didn't even know that's how it works. So,
Yeah.
so was Terminator virtual reality, or
There
was
was
it
on a
just,
big screen in front of us.
but it's just the regular
just the
movie?
movie. It's just like watching a
Oh,
movie
I
together.
thought you meant it was like a virtual reality version of like Terminator.
No, you
where
made it way cooler than it actually was.
Yeah.
No, it's basically us sitting here as avatars, and we're looking at
Yeah,
the
it's like
screen.
So it's
Hanging
like
out as
seeing a
brothers.
movie, but even lamer.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's a substitute for not being able to watch movies
I
together
see.
for many
Okay.
years because
Okay.
we're brothers and live in different states.
I see.
was somebody a porcupine or I don't know, like
We all look pretty honest in avatars, except for they don't actually allow you to make yourself as fat as I am.
I'm shocked with
They have to save the memory.
Nobody wants it. Yeah, same pixels.
I'm shocked with
The
all
avatar you've created is too large. Please create a smaller one.
don't they like force like fat avatars in a lot of things now? I think they did it with Pokemon Go.
Oh,
they
to be
changed all
woke,
the
they need-
models.
Oh,
yeah,
They need
yeah.
I'm
body
shocked you
positive,
can't do it. Yeah,
body
Well, you can be
positive
fat, but you just
avatars.
can't be like. It doesn't go up as big as on it. Like, I can't get the body to look like mine.
I mean, even some games now they have people that are really big in the game.
Well, I don't know, maybe that's
What's this other video game?
yeah. What's
you
this
have here?
RPG?
Oh yeah. So Brandon Sanderson, as I mentioned earlier, he finished the last 3 books of Wheel of Time. He just has this Kickstarter, and as of recording right now, there's 2 days left.
$11 million.
He raised $11 million with a Kickstarter.
Yeah, this
Must
is
be
not the
pretty
biggest
popular.
one.
Really?
So this one is for his basically it's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons
Okay.
version of his world or his novels that is in that he calls the Cosmere. It's his cinematic universe basically, and he's started with his two most popular series, Stormlight Archive and Mistborn, and this is that for that, and it also has like character what's it? Is it glossary? What would you call it? Like
a
it tells you about the
compendium or
world. Yeah, it has that, and then it has like the character, how to make the characters to play in a D&D basically, and his version of D&D, and yeah, is currently 11 million. It might be. There's 2 days left as of taping, so it might be even more. But
Now it says he had a $250,000 goal. What happens to all the rest of that money? Did they just make the game $11 million better?
Yeah, he gets to pocket some of it. I assume.
Yeah, I mean he has a company, so it probably goes. And he actually been doing it like our mutual friend. I would just call him Other Brandon. He's been buying all of Brandon Sanderson's stuff, and like Brandon Sanderson does a lot of his books in hardcover. It's like $200 or something, and they make like millions.
Oh wow!
And the one that a lot of people might know him for, in the past few during the pandemic, he wrote 4 secret books, as he called it, and they did the Kickstarter for it, and I think it's the highest Kickstarter ever. It made $55 million or something
so
around
insane.
there. So that was from during the
The
pandemic.
nerd market is like everybody makes fun of it, but they're the most committed audience, and a lot of them have the most money. It's just crazy the amount of money
They're
you can
just
make if
rich
you can
nerds.
tap into the because a lot of them have good jobs, and like unlike a kid's thing, they like it while they're a kid. They grow up, they get over it. A lot, nerds like, and then even like women's things, like they like it, but they don't buy a bunch of crap. Nerds, if you got nerds liking your stuff, like they will just keep
They'll
giving,
keep pouring money into
know,
it. Yeah.
You can tap into that. I've not.
The funny thing about the $55 million one I mentioned, the 4 books, some of the women I know got that. They got all the 4 books. I'm like shocked.
Well, there's nerd women. I just mean but I'm saying like things made for women. Like you don't generally get to see like a massive amazing sculpted statue you can buy for your house of Sex and the City characters or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Trading cards.
Yeah, and if there was, it'd probably be weird men buying it.
It'd be weirdo men, yeah. In fact, they probably do exist, and weirdo men buy them. I'm pretty sure. Just saying.
This is Sailor Moon, and this is Samantha from Sex and the
anything
City.
that's got a TV show
Don't touch it; it's very expensive.
Sailor Moon.
I feel like it's almost like men like owning.
What are you doing?
Items.
This? Men
Yeah,
like
I
what?
don't
know.
You're doing this.
Tangible
You're doing
things
it
you
too
can hold on to.
Well, yeah. Well, you're like owning items and stuff, but the I guess the women really like ideas and fantasy. I don't know what we call it, but especially with these books.
This next story, something about black myth Wu-Tang.
Wukong.
Is that a
Wukong.
Is that a black myth Wu-Tang?
You should know this since you studied Chinese Mandarin.
Uh-oh, calling you out on your...
Wukong. Is that? I don't know which.
Sun
Crazy.
Wukong.
What's that?
It's Sun Wukong.
Sun Wukong.
I don't know if I'm saying it correctly in Mandarin, but Xin Hong is in Cantonese. It's
For someone like me who's watching and has no idea what you're talking
I don't know what this is at all.
What is this?
so this is a video game that just came out recently. It's made.
Got a monkey.
Yeah, it's about a monkey. It's made in China. It's actually, if you look at the graphics, it looks really good.
Okay.
And it's basically like a Dark Souls kind of like a action, a really hard game. And but because it's made by actual Chinese people, and there's a lot of and this Sun Wukong.
I never heard that as like a selling point. Like this is made by actual Chinese people.
It says that on the box.
Yeah. Well, it's the Sun Wukong. It's the. Have you heard of Journey to the West?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that. It's is Journey to the West is the novel that's like the most famous novel in China,
right?
And the one of the
Monkey Prince
the Monkey King is the one of the main characters, and this is effectively it takes place after that, but you're basically doing the same thing.
The big news here is that it's like the most people playing on Steam at once was like hit, right? 37 million users at the same time playing.
There's 37 million people playing the game at the same time.
This is just users on Steam, right?
Yeah.
And most of it was connected. They blame this game for being probably why this happened.
Yeah, there was a lot of like video game or mainly IGN that was just like, oh, there's no diversity or whatever. I don't know. It was dumb stuff. And then, but Wukong, like, I'm assuming most of the people that bought it is Chinese, but that, as far as I know, nobody I've heard like dislike the game. So I've been playing it, and it's really good.
Second most played Steam game of all
time.
time.
Were you one of the 37 million?
I guess I was.
You're part of history.
Well, not actually. I wasn't playing on Steam, so
so I was playing on PS5.
That's like a small village in China was all playing. The amount of people that are there.
Yeah, really.
All right. Well, hey, it's the middle of the show.
Time for the mid-show promo.
Let's feature our YouTube comment. We like to pay a little homage to you guys who watch and listen to our show. Joey Vitamins is responding to our last episode where me and
Joey Vitamins comments a lot. He's a big fan. Yeah,
good old Joey Vitamins. Well, me and Adam, we did that last episode where we just got to know each other.
Yes. Yep.
And he said it's like a first date with Ethan and Adam. And yeah, kind of, I guess.
It was nice.
I enjoyed that episode.
It was. We got to know each other a little better.
It was when I listened back to it, so I was like, oh, this is better than I felt like it was. Because whenever you do 2 episodes one night, as we are doing today, the second one never feels good.
Because we're physically kind of
just wiped. We're already wiped out when we did this episode.
Losing our energy by the end.
Yeah.
But as long as we find interesting stuff to talk about, it's fun.
Yeah.
And here's our feature Apple podcast review. Best podcast on the internet from Happy Camper 13. Have you feverishly listened to every old Babylon Bee podcast featuring Ethan and Adam? Did you tear your clothes in anguish when they disappeared, never to be seen again? Do you wake up in the morning seeking to fill the aching void?
And it just got cut off. I don't know where that was headed, but it sounded beautiful.
It's poetic, yeah.
Happy Camper 13.
Feeling your aching void.
Then Happy Camper 13 gave us 5 stars. So.
Thank you. So yeah, I assume it ended good. Wake up in the morning.
It's a positive review.
To fill the aching void in. You could have gone anywhere there. Please like, please subscribe. You know, it all helps. leave us a
Gavin,
comment.
what are your favorite podcasts?
My favorite podcast is Hello Internet. But
I've heard of that one. I don't watch
So-
or listen to it though.
yeah, they have been hiatus since COVID, though, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But-
Can you tell Ethan that sometimes it's okay to take a hiatus and we don't have to do double tapings till midnight? You can just be like, "Oh, we're on hiatus."
He'll take hiatus.
Sounds like you just told him.
I mean, episode 17 is a little early in the
Yeah.
take a hiatus, but
I'm so ready for a hiatus.
I'm too. All right. Well, our main segment is just we got Gavin here. Gavin has opinions, and we want to know what they are. And he also brought some things to show us. So, Gavin, what you got for us here?
Opinions?
I guess we
or
can start with your
showing-
opinions. What are some of your strong opinions you feel like, or we could go straight to? I just wrote these are the things.
Did Gavin bring opinions that
We
to
could
share?
start. Actually, let's start with the slideshow because I think it's then it'll kind of set up what he's going to talk
Okay.
about.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, so I tried to do a deep dive on Gavin's Facebook and find a bunch of his old pictures and have him react to them.
Oh wow.
And I showed him the slideshow, and he made me delete half of it.
Oh man, these are even what's left though is so cool.
So okay, so here we are. So you just can explain each one. So here you are attacking. It looks like somebody walked into the room.
You look like an action hero. Is that a sword that you're
It's
holding?
like a picture, and all of a sudden you jumped out of the shadows and slit their throat.
Yeah. So
Is this a character?
so technically this one or the ones you will see in the same location was done because there was some like YouTube thing and like they wanted like 15 seconds of you doing something. So I just filmed that and then I just grabbed that screenshot from it. But in terms of this is I guess my technically back in the day would be my quote unquote my original character do not steal.
Okay.
So it's the
Copyright Gavin Yee.
Yeah. So technically the jacket thing was the Final Fantasy VII, but yeah.
Okay.
But
I feel like this is the last thing that Japanese ghost saw before his jaw was cracked in half.
well,
It looks like
maybe if I use not the sword part and
Or if like
the
a-
sheath part, and I would have.
if the
cracked
Jackie
it out.
Chan movie was filmed in like Jackie Chan POV and like a gangster's coming at him.
And now those action figures on the back shelf behind you, is that Carrie, Samantha, or Charlotte?
Sex in the City figures back there.
Wow. I didn't watch that show. So
All right, the next one we got you with these goggles. You got a sword, knife, short sword, a very short.
Is that
sword.
the Power Rangers sword?
yeah, it's the Green Ranger Dragon Dagger. I made that
So are
one.
you like
You
a mad
made that?
scientist?
Yeah.
Wow,
I
that's
made
cool.
that one.
That's amazing, Gavin. It looks like the real prop.
Are you wearing like a gangster do rag and then, or like what do they call those? And then like goggles on your head. What's on your head?
On my head.
Is this a
I think
character
it's,
you made up?
I think it's technically.
look like aviator
yeah,
goggles or
yeah, it's aviator goggles, and I think I have a bandana,
The bandana,
on top of
yeah,
it, and then
Like you, so you're a crip, right?
Is this
Cyber
know.
crip.
is this blade metal on this, or is it
no,
plastic?
it's some kind of.
You didn't forge
plastic
that.
thing. No, I didn't.
You're really good at making these.
it looks
like
cool.
very
I didn't know you made
realistic-looking
it.
Prop. Now he plays it like a flute when he summons the Zord, right?
Does he play? It's up to his lips.
Does
so he
it
has-
actually play?
No, not that.
Not this one.
No.
Well, apparently the real prop
Oh, it
doesn't
has
play either.
flute
Oh,
holes.
okay.
I don't know my Power Rangers. I'm
Yeah.
too old for this Power Rangers crap.
I was just on the cusp of like I had two younger brothers, and I remember when I was in like late elementary school, and I'd come home from school, I'd watch Power Rangers. But just the first, there's probably several incarnations of Power Rangers, right? I just watched the original one.
That's the next picture we got you on some kind of ride at Disney, and you're wearing your Steven Seagal sunglasses right there. And it looks like you're
cool.
gritting you're stealing yourself. How'd you like the fall on that ride?
Yeah. Well, usually when I know there's a picture coming up,
Yeah. Oh, you try to hold
I don't. Yeah, I try to
Yeah.
not look scared.
Dude, that's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
just like I try to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's so
But
much
I don't-
fun.
I think that I didn't execute that as well in that.
That's a great look, though. I love trying to figure out where the cameras are, and I try to make like weird faces.
look
at
like-
the camera sometimes too.
Like you look like you snuck onto that ride to murder the girl in front of you.
Which ride is this?
Yeah, where's
Is this Mickey's Rock and Roller Coaster?
I don't remember. I think so.
Okay.
Or yeah,
Space
I don't
Mountain.
remember.
I don't know. Yeah.
He had me crop this very specifically. Okay. So, all right. So this is this your grunge phase? We got Gavin with
you
his
had long hair.
I had hair like that once.
I tried growing my hair out once. It never got my hair didn't grow like that long. I think it probably got maybe like this length or so at its longest, and I just kind of gave up.
Yeah, it's just
What year? Like
what year is
age?
this?
Like what kind? Where was that in
what
life?
year? I don't know.
Were you
I'll
in
have to-
college or a little after college or what?
It's probably that one's probably around college.
Right.
Yeah, would have been 2010 maybe. My original Do Not Steal character would actually have hair about that length technically. So
you call him that because you don't want to give the name out because people might take it.
no, I mean it's my the Xander.
Oh,
What
Xander.
it's
Xander's
supposed
rants.
to be Xander.
Oh, cool.
Okay, this is Xander, and you got the Kurt Cobain, Asian Kurt Cobain.
Nice.
Did some what do you call it, highlight or whatever in front of my
Okay. Oh, so that's that.
yeah.
So that brown, that's not your natural hair color. You did some like fashion.
I think that one it wasn't natural, but some of the I don't know if it's here, but some of it was natural, but I don't think that one was. If
Okay.
I remember my timeline, but that jacket or whatever I was wearing is the same design as the white one.
Okay.
That you saw earlier. So I have like bought the two design that are the same.
Okay, now we have a very threatening image of you holding a literal
Very
lightsaber.
cool.
So the light's shining off of you. So is that real?
Oh,
Where are you here? What planet are you on?
I am basically like what your setup is here. It's just a backdrop here.
What I love about you is I could never make that serious in the face holding a lightsaber. I love how you embrace it. Like
Is that a
you
lightsaber?
feel alive when you got
Did
that
you
in your
put that
hand.
lightsaber together yourself, or is that one that you bought as a complete prop?
Yeah, I bought that
That
one.
one.
Yeah.
It's very cool looking.
I did not build any lightsabers. Well, I technically made what do you call it? What do you call it? The toilet paper at the end of the toilet paper.
The toilet paper tube.
Yeah, the tube stuff. I have made lightsabers from those before, but obviously I don't. Yeah, but that's like the extent.
Are you
of me
talking about when
actually
you just take the end of the wrapping paper roll and just use it as a lightsaber?
No, no.
The hamster house.
I still do that
Yeah.
at 41. I still use that as a lightsaber.
I play like a little didgeridoo.
Yeah.
How's your didgeridoo going?
I kept up with it for a week pretty well, and then because I
Tickled your nose too much, I bet.
No, I don't get a nose tickle from it. It's just I'm supposed to practice a half an hour every day.
Oh,
And when I was traveling for stand up, it's too big. They make travel ones, but the travel ones aren't as nice. I
like
wanted, a bigger
telescopic
one.
or something.
Yeah. So when I was like out of town for a week, I missed a few days of practicing, but
You can't just be like,
yeah. You can do the breathing. You can do the breathing exercises without it, but it's not as much fun when you don't have the instrument there.
you're really annoying as a hotel.
Yeah, that's
didgeridoo
true.
guy.
Yeah.
Because I would not suspect you were the didgeridoo guy because you got like no
I
dreads.
don't know
or
that I
anything.
look like a didgeridoo
Yeah,
guy.
you don't
No.
have the vibes. All right, we got so is this your trademark character?
Yeah, that would look closer to it.
Is that
like
that
Neo
looks like
meets-
close to the character from the first picture?
Yeah, this is what it's more intended for.
I see.
It's okay. That's your hair.
I guess at the time of the first picture, I just didn't have long hair at the time.
And is that a real sword? Is that sword like sharp? Like could you cut something with that?
Has that killed
No.
people?
I actually think that sword is the one that other Brandon used in one of the
Sketches?
sketches.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
That was rattling because it was
I
all.
see.
Oh, so it looks cooler on a photo than in video.
Yeah.
All right, we got you with Lego Wizard. Is that Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
That's Gandalf, right?
Yes, that's Gandalf.
Gavdolf?
Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah. That
Cool.
was at the Lego store at what was it? Disney.
Nice.
Blanking on what that is. The walk, is it? What do you call that?
Downtown Disney.
Downtown. Yeah, there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a big Disney? Like, do you go to Disney World a lot?
I've never been to Disney World.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
Or
same.
Disneyland, sorry.
Disneyland.
I have been.
He's old Pennsylvania habits.
Because I grew up on the East Coast, so it's like we had Disney World on the East Coast.
Yeah, I did go a bunch when my friend would get me in, but
That's the
he
best
is
when you have a friend
married
that
now.
can hook
So
you up
he
with
hasn't got me in
tickets.
now.
Yeah.
So we got you walking down the street, preparing to murder somebody. So who took this picture?
Yeah. Well,
Outside of a big wooden shed.
Whoever took this
you fighting
picture
zombies?
is no longer alive. That's
Yeah.
the last thing they ever
I just
saw.
want to know, who are you going to kill?
oh, this was The Last of Us when The Last of Us video game came out. and
Oh, video, not
this
the
is
show.
yeah. This,
I bet you got your
obviously,
gripes
yeah.
about the show.
Oh yeah, I
You
do
go
have
into your
my gripes
Xander's
about the
rants.
show.
You're good ranting. All right, we got you as is that Men in Black, Men in
What
Purple?
character is that? Yeah.
It's kind of Doctor Who.
Oh,
But
okay.
Oh, so
I'm
it's
too
Doctor
cheap to
Who,
have
literally?
a real suit.
I've never watched Doctor Who in my life.
I've tried a few
I've never
times, and I
seen
like
it.
when I watch it, I get why people like it, but I can't get myself to like
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
Well, the problem with Doctor Who is that there's some episodes that are really good, and then the next episode is complete garbage.
Okay.
So it's almost like you need to know which
So you have
episodes
to have
watch.
it's like a relationship. You have to
That
have
makes
those
sense,
great
'cause-
memories together to hold on to the bad times.
That makes sense. I'm, I've talked about like I'm a big Star Trek fan, but a lot of both the original series and Next Generation, especially in the early seasons, there's great episodes, but there's also episodes that are just terrible, and you're like, I have to sit through an hour of this to get to the
And-
2 or 3 good episodes that are.
Yeah,
coming.
it's just like Star Trek, where like some episodes are like the really dorkiest, whatever,
Yeah.
and then you have like the super serious ones, and usually those are the really good ones.
Yeah,
and same with Doctor Who, where it's like right next to each other.
That's absolutely
Like,
true. Yeah.
so
And what is the ring, or what is that device that you're
it's
holding?
the
there?
sonic screwdriver, the Doctor's quote unquote weapon of choice.
Oh, I thought that
Although
was
it's
a
not
thing
really
like-
a weapon.
The Men in Black uses to make you forget everything.
No, but
You will forget that you saw me in this
he
costume.
might be able to do that to you with the sonic screwdriver. It's basically a wand.
All right, is this Star-Lord? The next one, you're crossing your guns together, looking in the sky. Is that Star-Lord?
Yeah, that's Star Lord.
That's
I
Netflix.
think he literally does that in
That's
one of the
Netflix.
promotional photos.
Would that be Netflix Star-Lord? Like they always change people to not the
Oh.
white guys.
When I was in Dallas, I went to a water park and it was called Gaylord.
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 Are you sure
water
that's not
park?
from?
Yeah.
There's big wet slides.
Yeah, it's a whole convention center. They have a hotel and a convention center and a water park, and it's called Gaylord Dallas.
Wow, it just goes way back.
And
to
they're
when that
still
wasn't weird.
sticking with that name
with that name.
after all these years. Yeah.
It's not from the Meet the.
Meet the Fockers.
Isn't that the?
Yeah, his name is Gaylord in that.
And I think it's supposed to be copying the Queen, and whatever that pose.
Oh,
from
okay.
Queen.
Okay. All right, here you're in like a jet or something, or like a.
I believe that's supposed to be the Blackbird. cockpit.
The X-Men's plane.
That's what it's based
Blackbird.
on. Yeah. The
Oh, this
X-Men
is. They have a.
I mean, this is the real.
This is like a
quote-unquote
real Blackbird, like the Air Force.
Yeah, it's at the museum.
yeah. But isn't the one in the X-Men? Isn't that a Blackbird?
It's
So-
based off of it.
It's based
I
off
mean,
of it,
if
okay.
you look at it, this is the cockpit
Uh-huh.
of it. This is it. Can you fit 6, 7, 8 people in there?
Wow.
like yeah. So the X-Men version is just a big giant version
I
of
see.
it.
So who's taking that picture? And do you like ask them to take it, or they just take it and you're just sitting there thinking? Okay, you look like you're in deep thought.
Yeah, I think it was like somebody I know that took it.
Okay.
But I
Secret
was
person.
intentionally doing that.
You're
yeah.
like, hey, will you take a picture? Then you're like,
Yeah. Well, they're not like a
candid photo?
photographer though. Unfortunately, that's why.
Where did you get to sit in a Blackbird cockpit?
Was it in Washington? I'm blanking on.
At like the Air and Space Museum?
Yeah,
Oh,
I-
okay.
yeah.
cool.
DC.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Washington,
I lived in
DC.
Washington.
Sorry,
so,
the other Washington.
Washington State.
Oh,
Uh,
was it third?
I'm blanking. It's the S. The
Seattle?
yes.
Seattle, Washington?
Yeah, Seattle, Washington. There's a
I see.
there's a museum.
Three
there.
syllables.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because see, when you said Washington, I thought you meant DC because that's where the Air and Space Museum is. But now I have no idea what museum that would be in Seattle. But I believe you.
This next photo, you wanted me to.
You look like you're shooting a Hadouken.
Yeah, a little Hadouken energy, but also it feels like this could be like you had a falling out with a boy band that you were in.
Or like you were showing us what men do when they want
like tangible things they can grab onto.
It's I guess you can say almost what the Hadouken is based off of is Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay.
Dragon Ball?
Like a Dragon Ball, and they're kind of doing that too.
Okay.
That's another thing I've never watched. I think I've seen more clips of Dragon Balls than I have of Doctor Who, but I've never watched a full episode, I don't think.
Next one we got.
There's a guy named Fajita, right?
Oh yeah, Fajita.
Vegeta.
Sounds the worst.
Right.
That sounds like
It's Vegeta. It's not Fajita.
Oh, and if you want to learn more,
And Goku.
Yes, Goku.
Goku.
There's some of the characters are a bunch of puns, and some of them are Chinese puns.
Chinese
You should
puns.
learn some of it.
I love
Chao Su.
Chao Su.
That's perfect for you because you love puns and
love
learning
puns,
Chinese.
yeah.
That's like everything you've ever
I
wanted.
like that's like an assumption. Like you can understand puns in another language. That's when you know you're learning it.
Yeah.
You got is this you as Tomb Raider right here? Is it your Tomb Raider?
That's Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
Last of Us.
Are you the girl or the boy?
The boy.
Okay.
Or Pedro Pascal.
I love the disdain with which he said that to you. The boy, Ethan.
The daughter or the father?
Just because I have long hair.
It's the hair. It looks like the girl's hair. And then we got you standing. Is this Last of Us as well?
Yeah.
Green screening it.
Yeah.
We got it behind the scenes, little BTS where you're Star-Lord behind the scenes. Now, is that all? Is someone else taking this picture?
I think so. I don't remember. I might have put it on a timer.
A little bit.
Now, when you're dressed as these characters, are these just for photo shoots, or do you make like videos?
This one I specifically made it when I was spray painting one of those guns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to because those were like Nerf guns that I had to repaint them to actually look like Star-Lord's guns.
Cool.
I don't know. I love the how much you love this. We're at. All right, and the best picture and all your pictures on Facebook. I want to know the story here.
It's
What
like
is this? You said
Fabio or something. It's like a glamour shot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What's the story? What's the story here? You got your flowing mane of hair.
Yeah, so it was like a fun, whatever, photo shoot. Some of us were doing, and
your church.
Yeah, this church, and yeah, they halfway through they decided to turn on the fan. I guess some other people did some other poses, and then actually the guy right in front of me, I was asking him what pose was he's gonna do, and he actually said he was gonna do that pose. And I said, "Oh, I'm just gonna like."
What is
put
this
my
pose
Is there a name
called?
for
Like,
this
yeah.
pose?
If how would someone describe that?
Is there a character, Street Fighter 2 or something?
I don't know. Come to me. I don't know.
Come
It's called
hither?
the "come to me" pose. Okay. He was like, I'm gonna do "come to me,"
Like Bruce
and then
Lee
you were like, no,
thing?
not if I do "come to me" first.
No comment. No.
And then you out "come to me" to him.
Yeah. Oh, he got really mad afterwards. He's like, you stole my pose.
You stole my pose.
Yeah, dude. Well,
You're
I
telling
think
him to come at you, bro.
one of my friends that saw this later, because saw this later, I believe one of his comments was like, I want to look away from this photo, but I can't.
It's a very engaging
It
photo.
is, yeah. It sucks you in.
And I think some people are like, this should be like blackmail photo, and
Oh,
That should be like,
I'm like-
like your dating profile photo.
yeah, exactly.
oh, if only my hair was still the same degree now, me losing all that hair, unfortunately. Because somebody actually asked me, like, why didn't you keep that fabulous mane? Well, if I wasn't getting older, I would still have it now.
All right, well, I'm starting
Thanks
to
for
wonder.
sharing those pictures with us.
Yeah,
Those are
thanks for letting
cool.
us go through those.
Yes.
I'm starting to wonder if we should do some of this other stuff in the subscriber portion. What do you think?
Yeah, we can save
getting-
either the opinions or the sabers for the subscriber portion.
Which one?
Well-
You got your opinions here?
I actually Yeah, I've totally forgot to put it on there, but I don't know how much
Throw
you
out your
want to do it.
rant at us.
Let's
Give us
do
a few
some
rants.
Let's do some opinions here.
Because since that other thing has one of them.
Okay.
Let's see. I guess I feel like a lot of the problems in media, or at least for all of the YouTube complaining media, has to do with adaptations.
Oh yeah, we all hate the adaptations.
Yeah, it's just like they, for some reason, even though you have good examples like Lord of the Rings and stuff, but people just still refuse to make the good adaptations. And even right now, with like what happened recently, or not recently now, but as you might know, Adam, with Star Trek Picard.
Yes, yeah.
Just like, finally, like somebody in season 3 where he actually cared about the material.
Yeah.
And he finally made it good.
It took a while for it to kind of find its footing, and yeah.
It's just, I don't understand why. It's just, if you understand that people like what they like, you're like, oh, I bought this property. Why do people like this property? Instead of, and I think the other thing is that people seem to not like think, they just think like, oh, why is it popular now? And not be like, why isn't it popular? What was originally made it successful?
What was special about it?
Yeah,
what was it that drew people into it?
Yeah. And you can say The Mandalorian kind of tried to do it. And then,
see, The Mandalorian's an interesting. I still haven't finished it. I watched the first 2 seasons and I liked it a lot. But then it was still good, but it kind of started to get kind of slow and like a little repetitive. And I just kind of, I probably will finish it eventually. I never tried The Acolyte. That's the one that just got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Did you give that one a chance?
No. I mean, I skimmed it.
Yeah.
Mainly because because it clearly like looks like it's based off the prequels.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, maybe it'll actually have good fighting in there. And then like, I'm like, there was no fighting in it. And it was like they brought Trinity, and she didn't do any fighting, and she dies in the first episode.
Spoiler alert.
First episode. So it's just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And I mean, they did finally have a fight like the 5th episode or something that was quote unquote epic, but there was so much wrong with that fight. It's like, I mean, it was better than the sequel fighting where they were just swinging like baseball bats. But I mean, I think out of all of the Disney stuff, the only one that was good to me was Andor.
See, I didn't watch that one. I heard that one was very good, though.
Yeah, and I know Patrick and some of these guys was like telling me for like, I think straight 2 years to watch it. But they kept saying like, it's not Star Wars, but it's really good. I'm like, but why would I watch it if it was not Star Wars?
Hashtag not my Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Come full circle.
Yeah, but I think when I watched it, I realized, because I actually didn't really like Rogue One. I don't know if you. What did you guys your opinion?
I did. I liked Rogue One, but I only ever saw it once. I thought it was good, but I'd have to revisit it to have a more informed opinion.
I think I would have been okay with it, except the problem is that if they brought in Darth Vader right at the last second and Leia, and if you look at what happens in A New Hope, right 5 minutes after Rogue One, technically, like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like you have Darth Vader getting out his lightsaber, slaughtering everybody, and then 5 minutes later, he's just casually strolling onto her ship.
I think what I miss in Rogue One, I wish it would have had Jar Jar Binks, midichlorians, and more woke stuff. I think we can all agree on that, right? Those are the 3 best parts of Star Wars.
I like that wheeling dealing guy.
Watu.
The flying fly guy.
Yeah.
With the weird.
Yeah, Waddle.
Yeah, Waddle.
What was it?
And I don't know why I hate listening to people talk about Star Wars. I'm torturing myself right now. It's like my torture.
Well, I would say they are bringing back Jar Jar.
Are they bringing back Jar Jar?
Back Dark Jar Jar.
So that's my favorite
Jar Jar.
Dark Jar Jar, right?
Yeah, they're bringing it as there's like a Lego thing where they're like mixing everything. So they show Dark Jar Jar in it. He has a lightsaber.
I've probably said this. I don't know if I've said it on here before, but there's like the whole conspiracy theory or the fan theory that Jar Jar was originally supposed to be the Sith Lord, and then they changed the story because people didn't like him. But I watched I didn't think it would enthrall me like it does, but I watched an entire 45-minute YouTube video explaining how Jar Jar Binks was intended to be the Sith Lord, and it makes sense. I kind of buy it.
Actually, I recently no, it was some young guy that I was talking to, and he was like, "What? Didn't George really intend Darth Jar Jar?"
Yeah.
Like it was like completely 100% believed it. I'm like, me and the other guy are like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, really? he 100%.
That's cool that they're gonna do that though. In like a Lego
it's like
Star
a Lego
Wars kind of
thing, but it's like
fun.
obviously it's not official or whatever. But it's like it's shocking. I mean, there's going to be a Lego set that's
That
like
could be
a
a
Dark
good
Millennium
adaptation,
Falcon
right?
with Darth Jar Jar as one of the figures.
That's cool.
You know.
Any other opinions?
Yeah, they're not Star Wars related.
Or Star Wars related.
They're always like flipping through Star Wars.
The way you feel when we're talking about Star Wars is the way I felt you were talking about how many people were on Steam or Stream or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I don't even know what those words mean.
I just letting Gavin have two notes. I mean, of note, I guess that's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, well, one of the.
It's not a regular conversation people have though. Like everywhere you go.
What are you trying to say?
I talk about Darth Jar Jar everywhere I go.
That's what I'm saying. Everywhere I go, Star Wars conversations break out. I'm like,
yeah,
not again.
No, you just can't.
Should we do one more Gavin opinion and then save some for the subscriber portion? Cool. We'll do one more.
A quickie.
Yeah, I sorry.
When you be impassioned, when you really fight for
I wish I had that much water to drink.
Lemon.
Oh, lemonade.
It's lemon.
I didn't know that was
lemon water. Unfortunately, it's because of my
You've been
coughing thing. It's like I don't know how. That's why
I've been trying
to tone it down. Yeah, it's a lingering.
You get that lingering cough. Yeah,
I had a lingering cough that lasted years.
Yeah,
years.
Yeah, like a tickle in my throat. It would come back from time to time. I went to many doctors.
So not from COVID.
No, it was pre-COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I really
just pisses you off.
Yeah, get annoyed is that because they did in like I really liked Peter Parker in Into the Spider-Verse. Like I felt like they finally got him right, is because all of the other live action Peter Parkers, there's always something not correct about the character. What was that? Tobey Maguire was always like he was a good Peter Parker, but what do you call it? But he didn't like do much Spider-Man, or like he didn't do much of
spider stuff.
Yeah.
So you like the middle-aged Spider-Man, because he's like a grown man then, right?
Yeah. So
he's older.
So the thing I always liked about Spider-Man in general, like why he was my favorite superhero, is because I was like, oh, his life constantly like he's trying to make choices that are like between like if he wants to be selfish or he wants to help people, and he always chooses to help people, and then he never gets appreciated, but and then that's like the first part of his life until he gets married, and then and he finally was able to somehow balance it. It's not perfect, but it's balanced, and that's what they showed Into the Spider-Verse. It's that conflict of him I guess not wanting to have a kid with Mary Jane in the first one.
I forgot all about this part of the movie.
I've seen most of the Spider-Mans. I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah.
Have they ever done a bit in any of the Spider-Mans where like the day after he's out fighting crime and he's shooting webs everywhere, and then it's just a person walking down the street and they walk into one and they do this? Spider-Man must have been here.
I'm sure they have done that in
they done
some
that?
comics or something. or some like, oh, Spider-Man helped me, and but yeah, in the second movie, the Across the Spider-Verse, they basically completely neutered Peter's character in it.
They neutered him?
Oh,
basically.
Are you talking metaphorically or
metaphorically?
Oh, okay, not so he literally.
Like
they literally neutered Peter Parker.
he in the Across the second movie, he's you have basically all the good guys or whatever. Or Miles is basically trying to do the right thing, and then Peter is basically like no, let all those people die, or like because of the whatever canon event or whatever. It was like, oh, destroy the universe. But Miles is like, no, I have to save people.
I feel like that's what a spider would say. Let everyone die. That's the spider. That's the spider in him coming out.
Oh, yeah, but Peter, but yeah, and then Peter was going along with it. And I like it. For the most, at least in that movie, I mostly enjoyed it. It's just more like thinking back to it. It's just like Peter's character was just, he just let this happen. Like where it's just like, no, he wouldn't, if it was the real Peter Parker, he's like, no, I will save everybody no matter what. And there's actually people after that movie, there's like YouTube clips where there's from an old game, Spider-Man game, where he actually deals with, Miguel, Spider-Man 29, which is the kind of the antagonist, and who is being like, we have to control the canon, and he actually argues with him about Miguel, where he finds out Mary Jane's gonna die, and he's like, you have to save her because they're like in split timelines, and Miguel can only save. He's like, no, I have to save the world. I'm not going to save her. And he's like yelling at him. He's like, if you know someone's in trouble and you don't save them, then you don't know what it is to be Spider-Man. And it's like that. That's literally the conflict that they took. That I'm pretty sure that inspired the movie, and that they made Peter passive from it. It was just like, what the heck? Like Peter Parker would never do that.
And that would be like if you had Jar Jar confront Dark Jar Jar.
Oh,
maybe not. I'm just trying to bring it back.
I feel like I'm back working at the B. This is what I'd be trying to work on something, and this would be. He'd walk up right here and start just talking like impassioned. Yeah, it's passionate. It's weird.
I gotta see.
At the time, I'd be like, I'm trying to work.
I haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse. I should see that one.
Well, Into the Spider-Verse is the good one.
There's two.
I find multiverse gets exhausting very fast.
Yeah,
and I feel like it is all a ploy to work in as much crazy, bizarre diversity as possible.
I thought
multiverse justifies every pregnant, weird, every character.
What was the first multiverse Spider-Man movie? The animated one with Donald Glover. What was that one? Was that
Donald Glover?
Didn't he do the Spider-Man voice? Maybe I'm wrong.
The Spider-Verse? I don't know.
I mean, he was in the Marvel ones as like another.
What was the first animated Spider-Man movie? I like that one. I like the first multiverse
Spider-Verse.
Is it Into Spider-Verse?
Into the Spider-Verse. I guess that's it. I think that's the one I saw. Yeah.
I know Donald Glover.
He loved Peter Parker in that.
Donald Glover appears as himself in the second one.
For some reason, I thought he was like the voice of Spider-Man or something in one of them.
Because you're racist.
No, he was.
No, because
he was playing like Miles's uncle in the second one.
Oh, okay.
He made a cameo, I guess. I see. But no, he didn't. I think it was a rumor he was going to be Miles. Unless that's what you're thinking about.
Well, yeah, I didn't even. I got the voice actors mixed up. That was the one that I liked, but I do agree in a lot of movies the multiverse thing gets crazy. Like I didn't like Doctor Strange has completely lost me.
Well, did you watch Deadpool?
No, I did not.
Hey, speaking of movies, you know what's coming out? We went and saw it. We've seen it. Sonic 3. Knuckles, Sonic, the two-tail fox, and the black and red one is back. He's new. I think that one's new this time.
I think at least two of those are Pokemon now, right?
Are those Pokemon? And then the Knuckles has, So there's definitely a lot of rings everywhere. Mm-hmm. They're doing a lot of running up ramps, spinning around. It gets really fast. You watch it in 4D, you're gonna vomit.
They don't show a dog in there.
A dog?
You know, it's
I didn't want to spoil it. I didn't want to let everyone know. They show a dog in it.
Yeah, you know. I mean, the new voice guy is Keanu Reeves, so you know Keanu what Reeves. Happens.
Is he the black one?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is the black one.
Okay, so there's going to be a Sonic.
I assumed the black one was Donald Glover.
No. Well, the gloves aren't black, so
I just assume every black character.
Any black character has got to be. Oh, is that Donald Glover again? He plays a lot of characters in this.
Oh well, you know, Knuckles is Idris Elba.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah. I know.
I knew that.
My son's obsessed with Knuckles. You love that Knuckles show? Wait, I should get him started.
I didn't know there was a Knuckles show.
There's a new Knuckles show.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of opinions about Knuckles.
Okay.
Remember this from the work
We'll
of the
save
bee.
them for some other time.
Yeah, 'cause it's late. We got another
wrap
episode
this
to
and
do,
do our other.
So
Gavin, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
You're like one of my favorite people to talk to.
yeah, I
real.
miss you.
You're a fascinating guy, and you're fun, and you're just enjoyable.
I love that you are just you. That's what I love about you. Especially just like through, like, I don't want to sound racist, but like a lot of, because I've been meeting Chinese people from learning Chinese.
No reason to take this here.
But a lot of them, I've learned this about them, that a lot of them, they don't interact with white people. Like they're kind of like, they keep to their communities. And you're just like, you're just you. And like, think a lot of, you're just not afraid to just be Gavin. And so you have all these.
Gavin, I like you with no racial caveats.
Like, I don't know. I just like, I think that through it, I've noticed how much more unique you are than I even realized. You're just a unique guy. I love it.
Definitely a lot of the Asian people do not like how I interact with people.
Really?
Well, there's just like,
I tell you, stop. No,
they're like,
we
you're
don't do
being
that.
rude.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say those things, and
Do not say that about Knuckles.
it's like, yeah, why are you so mean?
Why aren't you
saying what you
counting out
mean?
600,000 yuan at this clothing store?
All right. Well, thanks to Matt doing all the heavy lifting, putting everything together here, making this happen.
Yep.
Anybody who helped write on the notes, our story contributors on Discord, our editors, Daniel, Johnny, Don, and Bard, Austin Robertson, the voice of the Talk Down.
And to viewers and listeners like you, who somehow managed to find time to listen to yet another podcast.
The Talk Down is filmed in a dark room in front of a couple of fake plants. For more information or to become a subscriber, go to thetalkdown.com.